houses in well-heeled areas, but they were of the people. They were two of us. Eric Morecambe died in 1984, and Ernie Wise rejoined his partner in 1999. Just what is it that makes Eric and Ernie endure all these years later? Between 1979 and 1988, Thomas Derbyshire and Robert Harper, better known as Tommy Cannon and Bobby Ball, were London weekend television's big double act. Their catchphrases, not least, "Rock on, Tommy," became currency in playgrounds and workplaces the nation over. They remained active as a partnership until Ball's untimely death in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic, Ball having also carved out a niche as a comic actor in shows like Not Going Out. However, their shows languish unrepeated. Other double acts have been and gone: Mike Hope and Albie Keane, Lenny Bennett and Jerry Stevens, Gareth Hale and Norman Pace, Mike and Bernie Winters and Schnorbitz. All were good turns, yet none come close to the affection in which Morecambe and Wise were, and are, held. For whatever reason, the tall, handsome one with the glasses and the one with the short, fat, hairy legs continue to work their charm on audiences. Maybe it's their authenticity. Once refined to its essence in its later years, theirs was no longer really an act. They were playing themselves. They were two very old, close friends, having fun and inviting millions to join in with them. Eric and Ernie were inclusive. They were the nation's best friends. If Eric Morecambe's first heart attack in 1968 had been fatal, it's unlikely that Morecambe and Wise would be remembered so fondly or intensely. The best of the work they did at ATV with writers Dick Hills and Sid Green was rating-stopping comedy in its day, but it lacks the depth and warmth of their work with Eddie Braben. The Liverpudlian fruitier-turned-writer expanded the double act into a triumvirate with a non-performing partner to create the Eric and Ernie we continue to love and celebrate. Braben wrote surrealism with a base of essential truth and integrity. When they met in Billy Cotton Jr.'s office at Television Centre, something happened, something magical. Hills and Green had mined for comic purposes the contrast between Lancastrian warmth and Yorkshire sharpness. Braben mixed up both with his own Liverpool wit and made the boys non-specifically northern. He created a mythical world where Eric and Ernie had grown up together, as indeed they almost had. He called it Terracin Street. He made Wise much gentler and warmer, closer to the man he actually was, but with the genius addition of comic meanness, when he wasn't mean at all. He made Morecambe much stronger and sharper, not always the fall guy. He saw the warmth that existed between these two men, a love closer than many brothers, and made it into comic gold. That magic, that chemical reaction, created a phenomenon that transcended and continues to transcend conventional popularity. The Beatles had and have it. Eric and Ernie had and have it. Their work can be repeated endlessly because so little of it is even slightly problematic. There is something comforting and safe about Morecambe and Wise. But this isn't cosy nostalgia. They always were comforting and safe. They were and are a constant in an increasingly uncertain world. This is their story. Chapter 1. Parallel Lives. Calling them Wise and Morecambe or Ernie and Eric sounds wrong, but it was Ernie that came first. Born on the 27th of November 1925 in Bramley, on the outskirts of Leeds, Ernest was the first child of Harry and Connie Wiseman. Harry worked for the London and North Eastern Railway as a porter and signal lampman, while Connie had worked in the local mills before her marriage. Wiseman had come from a poor family. His father died when he was 14, and his mother was blind. Harry lied about his age to join the army in the First World War. He met the relatively well-to-do Constant Wright on a tram when he tripped over her umbrella. Connie's father, in Ernie's words, a dour man of the sort that only Yorkshire breeds, took an instant dislike to the young man, and when it became clear that his daughter was falling for Harry, he issued her with an ultimatum: drop Wiseman or be abandoned by her family. Connie chose Harry, and her father cut her out of his will.